We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Well, welcome to the continuation of the Dune 2 review series. This is Kirk Henderson of Pod Maverick. We are talking about the Dallas Mavericks and whatever game that was. This is Group Therapy Live. Those of you who are new to the show, we have a unbelievable amount of people watching on Twitter. Does not seem real. Shout out to my Russian bot friends. If you would like to join the show on YouTube, remember there is the ability to click the pinned link in the YouTube chat. Anyone that is on Twitter that would like to join the show, shoot me a direct message and I will send you the link specifically. And then you come up here. It's pretty easy. It's just like joining the Zoom chat. We can get multiple people up here. Right now, we already got 3 people waiting. We're going to fly through people with takes and we'll hang out for as long as people want to talk because folks seem fired up. And that's just going to be the way the night goes. All right, coming up first is my man, Brian. What's up, Brian?
Man, more of the same. You know how it is.
I do. I worked myself into a lather. So like I was kind of bored at the start and now I'm just I'm not totally in on the Fire Kid stuff. Where are you?
I'll tell you where I am. They have 5 days because that is when my Bally Sports Plus renews. They have 5 days to fire that man. I'm canceling. I'm not watching another game of this team. I have better things to do.
Jake. Oh man, we're gonna lose Bally Sports subscribers. I love it.
Got 5 days to fire him, else I'm out, man. I'll go watch real basketball, brother. There are 29 other teams.
Sure.
They my God, man. Kid is a disaster. And he can be fired. Can't be replaced like immediately, rather easily, but they can find a replacement. I don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Tim was a disaster. Only played 13 minutes. So I stopped. If you'll notice, I stopped on Twitter with the why is he why is he love Tim so much? Why is he playing Tim so much? Played him 14 minutes in the last game.
Yeah.
So
we're kind of in a good spot with Tim.
Stop playing it. Derek Lively, still not 28.
Looking rookie-ish. Looking rookie-ish. I made fun of Maxey in the first show for being a non-contributing zero. Shout out to Derek Lively for his single rebound. That's all he did.
That's not good, but I will say, man, in the first half, he looked better guarding Tyrese Halliburton out on the perimeter than Josh did.
Oh, that's true, but that's because Josh is Josh playing defense is just he looks like a kid who picked up 2K for the first time and is like messing with the controls. He just doesn't know what to do. And
that's where like we get to like my actual if there needs to be like a take for this right now.
Sure.
Kid, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway, Maxey, Kyrie, yard sale. Hard reset this time. This iteration of the team, it's the Lukai thing was a fun run, but so they got back cut on and ran into so many dribble handoffs, and both of them look completely bewildered every single time.
It just hurts, man. It's like, this is NBA basketball. What did you think is happening?
No idea what to do. It's how we lost the Cleveland game. Tim was more involved in that, much more involved, but it was still like them running DHOs with Luka's man and them knowing Luka didn't have like a chance in hell to catch Strus running full speed to the corner.
That's right.
And Rick just like spammed that all game long.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. Just easy backdoor cuts, easy 45 cuts from the top of the arc to the lane with Tyrese driving from like the wing or something.
Yeah.
And it was just they couldn't do anything. Lively was out of position because he was guarding Miles Turner from 18, 20, 24 feet out, right? That's where the lack of boards came from. And when he's out there, we don't have any rim protection. And then he's also like not pressed up enough, which I don't know whose fault that is. Like, this is the dude that just burned us last game from 18 to 20 feet because you was standing 2 to 3 feet away from it.
Random point. I don't mean to interject your thought, but tonight we're big time Denver Nuggets fans as they have stormed all the way the hell back and are currently leading the Phoenix Suns by 1 point with 90 seconds to go.
God, the Suns did it again.
So
they fucking suck in the fourth. Oh
yeah,
my
it's like the simple fact is the group of teams from like 6 to 10 are a bunch of garbo. Like it's just real bad. It's real bad. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. What else you got?
No, you're good. Yeah, man, I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I've been staying up. I've been watching these games. I could be getting sleep. I could be getting work done. I could be watching better basketball teams like Oklahoma City, Denver, Indiana. Like more fun.
I have video games I put down for the season. I could be doing something different. Well, man, thank you so much for joining us. All right.
Of course, brother. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we have a lot of people waiting. Good gracious. We're going to fly through people. So just be kind of cognizant of your thoughts while we're up here. We're going to get to as many people as possible. Once again, if you're listening on Twitter, please shoot me a link. I'm going to go in order of the people who have joined. We have just some of my favorite people looking down here. I see my man Glenn. I see Xavier. We see Tyron. We see Sam. This is excellent. We're gonna have a great show. So the Mavs might suck, but you guys are great. X, what's going on tonight?
I'm livid, Kurt. I'm absolutely livid.
Are you in the 90s? What's going on with the color palette tonight, friendo?
My softball uniform. Saved by the balls.
That's fantastic.
Softball. Yeah.
So what do you got for us tonight?
I want to deliver some hard truths to Maverick fans. You know, Maverick fans and I sometimes we butt heads a lot. And look, I get it. I'm a brash New York guy. I know I rub people the wrong way sometimes. But look, there's some things that when I look in the comments on Mavs Moneyball or when I go on Twitter, I hear these things being repeated and it's just not true, right? So Kyrie and Luka fit well together. No, they don't. They're just world-class tough shot makers, but our plan A, plan B, and plan C is, hey, go make some tough shots. Kid does nothing to get either one of them an easy bucket. They're just able to hit shots that other players in the world can, and when they hit those shots, we win, and when they don't, we look like complete dog shit, but they don't fit well together, right? To your point, we should be seeing Luka, Kyrie pick and rolls so that if the defense goes under, Kyrie has a wide open three at the top of the key. Or maybe you have Luka going 4-on-3. He's the best passer in the world outside of Jokic.
Could you imagine him in a short roll situation? Have we seen that once in my existence? No.
Draymond Green has made a Hall of Fame career off of that short roll, right? We don't do any of that, right? Josh Green, right? I remember I posted that I would have traded Josh Green in the first for PJ Washington, and I was called a contrarian, all types of nasty
It's tough.
words.
Because he did look good. He did look good, but he's just so limited.
Kirk, he had 3 games in a 10-game stretch where he scored 20 points. He didn't score 20 points before that 10-game stretch. He's yet to score 20 points since that 10-day stretch. So fans, they're like goldfish, right? They live in the moment. Oh my God, Josh Green had an excellent 10 days.
That's certainly how I am. I would rather enjoy this, and I would expect that there to be some building on what they do, and unfortunately, it seems to be.
But secretly, you agree with me. I'm in slack with you. You hate Josh Green as much as I do.
Yeah,
but
it might be.
I know publicly you can't admit to it, but our hatred for Josh Green, other than our nerddom, is why we bond. Josh Green stinks. He doesn't play good defense.
Good old Easter Island
more than 2 3-pointers a handful of times this entire season. But because he shoots 40%, we say, oh my God, Josh Green is an amazing shooter. My ass, not all 40% 3-point shooters are created equal, right? And so, but you look at the stat sheet, 40%, Josh Green's good. No, he's not. He doesn't play defense. And that's the thing. So when you have lineups with Kyrie, Luka, and Josh Green out there, that's 3 negative defenders. I was wrong on Lively, and I will apologize publicly. I thought they shouldn't have drafted him. He was a great pick, but he's a rookie, right? And so who do you have at the 4 that can make up for the fact that we have, at any given point in time, 3 negative defenders? Maxey, for the love of God, he has a metal plate in his shoe to keep his pinky from dislocating randomly. And we're expecting him to be the anchor of a small ball 5-out lineup.
Not fair to him.
His body has abandoned him. He can't move vertically. And why did those small ball lineups work? Because theoretically, you could switch 1 through 5. That would disrupt a lot of the
like Maxey would hit a shot.
And then we would rotate, right? We would rotate like madman, and that's what we was built upon. But here's the thing. Maxey's getting blown by with ease, right? 3 of our players are getting blown by with ease. So at that point, whether you play man or whether you switch everything, it's too easy. Now, most teams choose with either like the Pelicans. They say, look, we're going to build a fence around the paint. We're going to give you all the 3-pointers you want, and we're just going to pray that you miss shots, right? And on certain nights, that's good, right? The variance, it works in their favor, and they're able to win games that way. Other teams are like, look, we're not going to give you any corner 3s, and we're going to trust that our 3s are going to beat you with your 2s.
Sure.
We don't stop either one. We give up corner 3s, and we give up layup lines. So at that point, what is our defensive principle? Like, when we go out there and we roll the ball out, what are we trying to accomplish? I don't know, right? And so that's why the guy, and I'm glad that you cursed him out in the chat because he was over here defending J. Kidd. If you're a J. Kidd defender, tell me 2 things that he does that are positive. You can't point to anything. So at this point, we say it's too late to fire Kidd. What do we lose by firing him? Are we all of a sudden having to install a new scheme, or are we just installing the scheme, period? Because right now we have no offensive identity other than go play hero ball and bail us out. And on defense, it's like, yo, we hope that our rookie center is athletic enough to maybe swat some shit by the rim. But other than that, we don't really know what we're doing. We're not steering ball dribblers in any direction. We don't know what the hell we're doing. So, end rant, because I know there's a lot of people here, but I was saying these things early in the season when our record was better, and I was told, X, shut up. We're 18-5. Shut up.
No. I mean, they got off to a great start. They got off to an 8-2 start and have played below 500 basketball since.
We beat up on the bottom feeders of the league,
which is fine. Right? You're supposed to do that. They win a meaningful game,
and that's going to get you exactly to where you are. But the problem is, there's a large gap between the haves and have-nots. And there's a lot more have-nots in the league right now when you consider the East. And so, yes, you can inflate your record against those bottom feeder teams, but don't trick yourself into thinking that we've built anything that's sustainable for the long term. And my final point before I leave, yes, Kidd is a problem, and Cuban's years of decision-making, yes. Kyrie is the fundamental issue. You cannot field a league average defense if Luka is your second worst defender on the team. And I tend to get frustrated when Luka doesn't give a shit on defense, but look at his usage rate. We cannot ask him to be an average defender and go out there and create everything on offense. It's just not going to happen. So we have to accept that Luka's not going to be a good defender, but you cannot put Kyrie Irving next to him. Yeah. And it just gives defenses too many ways to attack us. And even a Nick Nurse or Eric Spoelstra, even they can't solve those problems because Kyrie is the fundamental issue. And until he's gone, look, that's just what it is.
Hard take.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Xavier. Talk soon. All right, man.
See you, Kirk.
Like how people who haven't been doing this for a long time don't remember Xavier joining in the old locker room, the way old chat. All right, we got my man Tyron who's popped in and out. But I saw him earlier in line, so I'm going to give him a shot. What's up, Tyron? All right, Tyron, I'm going to punch you. We'll try again in a little bit. We're going to go to Mr. Klotz. What's going on tonight?
Yo, hey Kirk, can you hear me?
I can. What's on your mind?
Just I see people obviously, Josh Green's got his weaknesses. He's not amazing, but it's just killing me that the Luka went on old man in 3. I think it was during All-Star break. He went back to meet with JJ and just straight up told the world, like, hey, blitzing is awesome. I love it because we're the most blitz team ever.
Yep.
Did you see that?
I did see that. That was interesting. It was. I'm not.
I just feel like I was like, so ever since then, we've seen every team pretty much play us straight up and just say Luka and Kai can beat us. We're not going to keep trying to throw these crazy traps.
Well, it's the 73-point game where Luka was given free reign to score as many points as possible, and the Hawks still had a chance to win.
Yeah, it's a problem. Like, I think we've been figured out, and to me, it's just fire kid. Like, fire him now. They're not going to do it, of course. But
they're not going to do it. He's the only thing they can change, but that's where we are. It's tough.
Like, yeah, like this, it also, like, the fact that we were 7 games in a row, that was Luka's longest win streak. Like, looking back, when Dirk was here, we had, by year 4, we were a 50-win team. We were a 50-win team for a decade. It took us 11 years of 50-win straight seasons to make the finals twice and win 1 title. So that's like the level of high pedigree play year after year after year that you have to have as a franchise to even sniff a title. The same thing as in a lot of sports, right? Like 49ers are always in the conversation in the NFL.
Sure.
So it's just killing me to watch this team like flame out and burn after 2 years ago when it looked like they were on the rise. Lucas Starr was on the rise. He single-handedly whooped the shit out of the Suns in a series. And now
there have been multiple players during my time as a hardcore NBA fan where teams have mortgaged the future to try to be good now. The LeBron Cavaliers in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
The Anthony Davis Pelicans were another team. Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. And I am staring at this Wemby situation in San Antonio. And there's nothing wrong with building a team slowly. Look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and what the Oklahoma City Thunder have built. Granted, no one will talk about this, but they tank like crazy to get the team that they did. They also drafted well and things work out, but they built slow. And anytime you hurry a rebuild, if it doesn't work, and frankly, it didn't work for LeBron, not really working for the Mavericks, didn't work for Anthony Davis, you end up in this painful situation, and there's not much to be done about it.
Yeah, I agree. It's killing me right now that, we have 2 of the most creative guys on the planet, and our coaching staff can't utilize players in a more meaningful way. Like, watching a Rick Carlisle coach team out there tonight with the talent, like Rick didn't have, I know he had Kristaps, but let's face it, he had Kristaps one every 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
But and then he came back injured and was never the same after COVID and everything. But seeing like how he gets the most out of his players, remembering some of the guys that he helped kind of create mini careers for, it just kills me seeing kids sit there throughout the third quarter, literally sitting on the fucking bench, not even hands in his pocket, just sitting there on the bench, just watching. No one's dying. He's just watching. He's having a good time.
Yeah.
He's a piece of crap. Anyway, I am ready to go. Just throw out my season tickets, everything, and so I'm not renewing next year. Fuck this team right now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well,
so the stands aren't going to get my money.
All right, we'll talk soon. All right. Coming up next to Sam. Sam, what's up, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. What's going on?
Oh, I mean, at this point, I don't got a lot to say because everybody's pretty much.
Oh, you're allowed to say it aloud. This is why it's group therapy. Did Nick Angstad call for the firing of Jason Kidd? I'm watching him give a video from the arena, but I can't actually listen to it because we're talking. Somebody's gonna have to report to me in the chat. But yeah, what's going on, Sam?
Well, I mean, I would agree. I think we got to fire Kidd, but the only way that's going to happen at this point is if either Luke or Kyrie say we need to fire him, so I'm gonna do it. So at this point, it's just kind of we're just wasting our breath talking about it because Mark's not going to do it, so it's not going to happen. So at this point, I honestly don't know what else you can do, but it's just the fact that I actually looked this up a couple of days ago, just as far as Kidd's coaching career, because besides that one, his first year in Brooklyn where they made the playoffs,
No, he's had one good year, and that was the year we made it to the Western Conference Finals. He's the most mediocre ass coach there is.
Yeah, he had one good year in Brooklyn. He had one good year in Milwaukee. Other than that, he's been straight ass juice, and it's just like I don't get it. We had a 36-12 stretch the first year after we went 16-18, and besides that, we've had a 6-game winning streak and a 7-game winning streak. That's literally been it. And it's like the other guy said, when you got a guy like Dirk who's you're consistently winning 50 games every year, even if you're not even getting to the finals, you're consistently in the mix. You're like, okay, they may not get to the finals, but hey, worst case, they get to the second round. They might get to a Western Conference Finals. And then we got to the finals twice with Dirk and whoever, Jason Terry, Jerry Stackhouse, Josh Howard, whoever. We were able to actually, and he wasn't a great defender either. I mean, he was a great team defender, but he was not like a great individual defender, but the team was built with strengths where we could succeed. And I like PJ Washington. He hasn't been great offensively, but for the most part, I think he's done a good job defensively. Derek Lively's a rookie, so you can't really say nothing. I can't put nothing on him. He's a rookie.
Right. How much? Yeah, it's an expectations thing.
Yeah, and even this year, for what a rookie, what you expect, he's done great. So I can't be mad at him. It's just too much ball watching. Even the one play that really pissed me off was when Luka missed that layup and he was just holding his face down, and Daniel Gafford basically got the rebound. If he would have looked up, he could have got the ball. But he was so busy just moping because, oh, man, I missed the layup. The ball just went right past him and then went out of bounds.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like, this is so crazy because this is literally the same thing as last year. And I don't think we're going to miss the play-in just because the only team I think that could make it at this point is Utah. If they get into 10 or 9. And they're playing a little better than they were, the last couple of weeks. So I don't want to say that it's not possible. But if we don't make the playoffs again,
I think they're going to be okay there. Like they would basically, Josh Bowe just posted a tweet. They play 10 games, 20 games left. They play 10 games under 500, 10 games over 500 based on correlation with what we've done before. The Mavericks ought to go 12-8 with what they've done. So like, I still think they're going to be okay in that regard. It's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, 12-8, I guess is possible, but I don't know. Like we said that last year, and
yeah, no, that's true.
They lost to Detroit last year. God forbid we lose to Detroit this year. I thought we would go at least 5-1 in the 6-game stretch with the Sixers game and this game, and then we might lose to Miami, but we'll beat Detroit, we'll beat Chicago. But I don't know. I mean, Chicago beat Sacramento last night, and they came back from like a 20-point deficit. So times is looking tough. But I don't fuck this team. That's all I got, man.
I love this. I'm looking at my Jason Kidd quotes from 2021 when he had just started. I wanted to fire Kidd in December of 2021. He's just not. Like if I trust me, I'm not trying to say I can coach a team. I know what you mean. I know. We're fans. We're allowed to be pissed at our coach, and people that tell you otherwise can fuck off. Like you don't watch this to be mad. You watch this to watch the players. The end. Yeah, I mean, but this is a very unserious organization. Like, it feels like it, man. Milwaukee. I mean, listen, I don't think they should have fired Adrian Griffin. I think he kind of got hoed, but they did it, and they brought in the coach. Now look at him. So it's like, if they could do it, why can't we? But hey, sure. Jamal Mosley, we could have had him, but whatever. I don't want to talk about it no more. Right, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Sam. Have a good one. Okay, we're gonna bring up Tyron again. See if he's had a chance. There we go, Tyron. What's going on, my man?
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Well, better that I'm back home. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. I actually got to experience that bullshit live.
No, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it was pretty bad, and I couldn't wait to get home to tell you. I know your stance on referees, but God, Kirk, if you were there tonight, you could just feel how Tony Brothers sucked the energy out of the American Airlines Center. It was bad. Him, I was gonna say just him. No, it was the whole freaking referee team tonight. Sucked the energy out of the building. After about the third or fourth ref, you suck. Unanimous ref, you suck. You could just the whole energy in the building shifted. Everybody was just completely tuned out of the game, including the Mavericks. So like, you wouldn't get that feeling just from watching the game on TV. So being there, I get it. I get why the team checked out because we couldn't get shit. It was ridiculous. However, I do agree with you in the fact that I was just waiting for Jason Kidd to do anything. Because
did he ever get in Brother's face or anything like that?
Absolutely not. He did the casual. Let me put my hands in my pockets and stroll up to you and hey, Tony, what's going on, man? Hey. And what does that result in? That results in fucking TJ McConnell killing us in the third and fourth quarter. TJ McConnell's probably my height.
No, he really is. He looks like a creative player. If somebody was like if I were to create myself in a game, that's what that dude would look like.
It was so bad. And I mean, I hate to call for anybody's job, whether they deserve it or not. But tonight, I mean, was just
sure.
It was just blatant. And I'm not gonna hold you up. I know you got a lot of people on here waiting to get up. Why aren't we seeing more Hardy? Like, if I have to see Tim Hardaway Jr.
I have no
bring
idea.
the ball up the court one more freaking time, why?
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, Jaden Hardy is literally a walking bucket. In an instance where we need scoring because nobody was hitting shit, put Hardy in. Don't put Tim Hardaway Jr. in.
It's gonna be if above all else, it'll be a different look, and I will take that.
And anything at this put freaking Morris in at this point, like anything.
Man, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you hopping back on.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care, Kirk.
All right, talk soon.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna go to Zach next. I'm gonna go to people in order as they come up. Zach, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
A little bit of a struggle bus tonight. I'm kind of hitting a wall, but I want to power through. What are we thinking? What's going on tonight?
I'm just thinking, man, like, what can we get this off season for Maxi Kleber and Tim Hardaway Jr. in a second?
Nothing. Like nothing. Sorry.
Oh man.
I think we'll probably be able to get away with Tim in the off season.
Oh my goodness, man. Like, it's just one of those things, man. Like, the thing about Kid is it's like he won't make adjustments. Like, he'll keep going back to that same Maxi Kleber, Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, they're struggling. Like, I would rather see Max over Kleber at this point.
Right.
I really would.
I would too, because at least it's something different.
And he can do more. Like, I just feel like the energy was. That's the only thing about Kid, man. Like, he just won't make adjustments. I made a tweet earlier. Let me be honest. I didn't watch the game because I had to go to my aunt's birthday today, and
It's one of the most upsetting games I've watched this year.
I'm a homer. I don't miss a game. Let's be honest. But I mean, I missed today's. I'm probably gonna rewatch it because I recorded it. But I tweeted that Rick Carlisle was gonna out-adjust Rick Carlisle, and without even watching the game, I look up and I check the score. I'm like, oh well, I'm not surprised because here we are. We go back to the same drop defense, the same thing that wasn't working, the same Maxi Kleber minutes, the same Tim Hardaway Jr. minutes. It's just the same old same. The adjustments just aren't there. It's like, and that's why I think people are so fed up with Kid, man, because there are no adjustments. There's no accountability. There's just go out there and try it again. Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I understand why people are so fed up with him because it's the same old. It doesn't seem like there's any accountability. It doesn't seem like there's any urgency, man. It's just hands in the pockets, same old, you know?
I do. It's very taxing. Well, I hope you don't get too frustrated watching the game tomorrow. And thank you for hanging out to talk with us.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Talk soon. All right. It's been a while since we've had this next guy up. Ewan, it's late for you. What are you doing, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a while.
And looking handsome with a great beard. It's good. This is good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on?
Yeah, man. It's been rough the last few months watching the team. I know I've been missing a lot of the lives due to the start times. I've been tired, so I haven't been able to really get on. But
I've been tired and also missing this, and this is my show, so don't you worry. You know, it's the line from Office Space where he's like, you know, I've been missing a lot of work. You've been missing a lot of work lately. I wouldn't say you've been missing it, because this season has been not. It's another, like, there's been patches of fun and a lot of bleh.
well, it's like I'm glad everybody's like kind of like in the same mindset of how we feel with the kid. The last two callers that came up, I agree 100%. It's like I've been saying it all year, even last year. Kid doesn't make no adjustments. Any adjustments that's made is based off the team, the opposing team. No, nobody's adjusting to us. Nobody's saying like they're gonna change their lineup, they're gonna change their scheme due to what we're doing, how we're affecting them. It's always we have to make the adjustment, we have to make the change. And I've always said, kid doesn't see things in advance. He doesn't see things like, well, you know, those last two possessions looking shaky. They can't do this for another 2-3 minutes because, you know, we might lose the lead, or, you know, the team might. He doesn't. It's been a painful watch, man. The last few months it has, and it's like I agree with everyone. Like, you can't blame Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight because he played what, 10, 12 minutes.
He did. He was fine. And, you know, I discovered, somebody just sent me, this is an important video. This is an important video of Jason Kidd making coaching adjustments, and I want to show it to you right now. I'm sorry. For people who are listening on the audio podcast, I just sent him a gif of Michael Jackson pushing down the gun from whatever. God, what was that song? Sorry, I'm losing my mind, man. I'm losing my mind.
It's like, all right, we depended on Lively a lot in the beginning of the season, right?
Yep.
We made changes. We got Gafford. We see Lively still making a lot of rookie mistakes. This is crunch time. All these game matters. You may have to make a change. Start Gafford. Bring Lively in where he's playing against, you know, backup bigs, backup centers, backup guards, where, you know, those guys' aggressiveness may not be as aggressive as the starters. You know, he's not going against the 5 best players on the team. You know what I'm saying? He's been against the bench guys, so he may be more effective that way. Yep. And it's like, of us being an unserious organization, you have your head coach, he goes to the podium and he's making KFC references. Like,
I've not even listened to him yet. Was it rough?
No, not this game. The
game,
sure. The last game, he's like, you know, put some KFC chicken in Tim Hardaway Jr.'s locker. Like, how are we going to take the franchise seriously? How opponents are going to take us seriously? We're a joke. Like, we're a joke. And how can Luka look to this guy for leadership if this is the path he takes? This is what comes out of him. You know, you see Luka on the bench, he's pissed off, he's throwing the water, he's leaving, he's going to the locker room, and he got his hand over his head. And you see Kyrie just tapping him, like, nah, be pissed off too. Show some emotion, be upset. Like, show that it matters. You know, like, it's just it's been a painful watch, man. It's like, you know, and you hear all these Luka stands and, you know, people from national media, you know, he ball hogs and he does this, he does that. But if you watch the possessions, Luka will come up the court, you hand the ball off to somebody else to do something, and they just pass it right back. So it's like,
that's right. It's like, I don't really want to do this. I'm going to pass you the ball right back.
You know, and the lasting effect is the last 2 years, Nico has tried his best to upgrade the roster.
Yep.
Right? So the last 2 years, we've gotten better roster-wise, talent-wise, and we're getting the same result. The only thing that's left to say is the guy at the helm. That's
the only change you can make. Like, I don't even necessarily think it's all his fault, but he's the only person you can change. Like, everybody else, you're kind of locked in. So
yeah, but like I said, you know, we're probably gonna back into the playoffs because, you know, the other teams are just like us, like up and down, up and down, up and down. You know, Phoenix ended up winning tonight, but now Utah so far out, we got to go on a catastrophic losing streak for Utah to somehow creep back into that 10 spot. But it's like I said, no creativity. There's
That's
Luka
right.
pick and roll. That's it. And like you said, with Josh, Luka and the Kai pick and roll been pretty effective. You get great possessions out of those. Why not running more? Your two best players.
I think because they don't want tape on it, but it's like if you're losing, sometimes desperate situations call for desperate measures. So, man, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Lastly, just look down the bench and just give Dwight Powell. Give him. Maybe you need a joke to Dwight Powell in the game for 2-3 minutes.
That no, that's too far. That's just mean. Man, thanks for hanging out.
Oh my god! All right, man. Until next time.
All right, so we got a lot of folks waiting. I'm going to go to my man Henry next, and then I see. Oh no, I'm going to go to Glenn next, then to Henry, and then I got to let Tim Cato jump the line because he probably has work to do. Glenn, man, what's going on?
What's happening?
This is great. You're calling from the car.
I'm calling from the car because I've just left the game.
How was it tonight?
Do you see my eyes?
I can.
It was not good. This game is, I could be sleeping right now. I'm in a Whataburger drive-through waiting to get my food, and I could have been doing something better. I'm gonna say this, man. Jason Kidd is like an unlikable Jason Garrett from the Cowboys because he doesn't do. We've talked about this. He does nothing as far as adjustments. Like for example, Gafford was in and he had a great day rebounding. He also had a great day with scoring because he didn't have Gafford switching like Lively was doing on the perimeter. So why not have Lively actually drop back and defend the paint? We are not going to be able to stop these three-pointers, man. Our team is garbage with playing defense. We could at least win on the boards, though. Second chance points, things like that. Play toward our strengths. Nope. He saw it work with Gafford, didn't even want to try it with Lively. It's not only the unwillingness to make adjustments, it's the stubbornness to just stick with what he has because I feel like he thinks he's the smartest person in every single basketball room.
Which is usually true. But you're playing against Rick, and Rick is the guy when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, being smart and actually being able to have your team execute what you have on paper. I'm sure this man has great theories with his coaching schemes, and it looks good on a chalkboard. But with 5 other basketball players that are some of the best in the world, it sometimes just doesn't work. The offense looks stagnant since the All-Star break.
Sure.
The defense looks worse. And, like I said earlier, I think it's because people have tape on us.
I think so too, yeah.
But that's the thing. Coaches adjust to what they see. They've been doing that. You mean to tell us we can't do that? We just roll the ball out? Matter of fact, we continue to do the things that don't get us results.
Well, we've seen Kidd make adjustments before. Some of the things he's done in particular series and particular games have been really quite brilliant, but I feel like they've just turned the slider off and he's not coaching anymore.
I don't know what he's doing. And I don't know if they have has he done his press conference yet today?
Yeah, he did, and I haven't watched it yet. I usually don't watch those just because they fire me up too much.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I do know I don't think Kidd's going anywhere. I'm sure they will Sean Sweeney and Jared Dudley will all kind of fall on the sword involuntarily because we're kind of stuck in a position where it's a package deal, the Nico Kidd, Kyrie Irving package deal. And I see people, calling for Kyrie's head. I mean, this guy kind of carried us for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he has a few bad games. But I'm going to tell you, if the scheme is about effort, the defensive scheme is about effort, and the reason why Kidd says we're not playing good defense is because we're not giving the max effort that we need, like Derrick Jones Jr. said, there's only one person responsible for all 12 players on the roster not giving effort, and it's not Cuban and it's not Luka, it's Kidd.
It's tough, man. Good takes. What are you still waiting in Whataburger?
I am waiting at water. Matter of fact, this lady's about to get my order right now, so I'm going to allow you to talk to somebody else for these next few moments.
Thanks so much. You be good.
Have a good night, man.
All right. Coming up next, a little guy from an outlet called The Athletic. His name's Timothy Cato, star of Dune 2. What's going on?
Did I star in that?
I don't know. I've been making Dune 2 like jokes all night because I said.
Well, dude, I've been so high on Spice, like I don't even remember what happened the past few weeks. I probably was in it.
So what's happening, man? What did you have to go tonight? I mean, I'm assuming yes because it's your job, but
Yeah,
sometimes weird shit
Yeah, I
happens.
just got home. Yeah, I walked back to my apartment, starting to put together a little article on it that's going to be posted tomorrow. I don't know. What do you want to ask me? I guess, I mean, I got one kind of big picture thought, but is there anything that has been a common theme that?
I mean, folks are really like, I think that there's the common theme is everybody is sick of Kidd, but I don't necessarily think everyone agrees that it's all Kidd's fault, but that Kidd is kind of the one solution where it's like, that's the only thing you could change. Unfortunately, everyone also agrees more or less that he ain't going nowhere. So
I have no clue. I mean, if
yeah,
maybe he's not back next year. I don't know with certainty he's back next year. I don't know with certainty that he's not. I don't know. I wouldn't. All I know is that I wouldn't like say for sure like he's.
Well, of course not. There's too many games left. So it's the kind of thought is like, what the hell do they do? Because they've been so bad since the All-Star break, and it's kind of unfathomable.
I thought Luka was ass defense. Like I thought he was so bad defensively.
Yeah, he was.
And
him. A lot of guys. Yeah.
Kyrie has been very bad lately. He's been very gambly. He's very free. He's completely freelancing. It feels like a lot. Obviously, Tim Hardaway Jr. is bad on that end. I think there's a combination. I think this roster. There is some combination of scheme and personnel and lineup that can make them a decent defensive team. I just think it's really hard to do when Luka's not buying in. I think that if, Jason Kidd likes to say that, their offense is their defense. Hang on, let me find the tab. He's not totally wrong. When Dallas defends after a missed field goal, worst team in the league. They allow 1.25 points per possession.
That's hard.
When they defend after a made field goal, they are the sixth best defense.
Well, then let's pivot away from the defense for a second and think about the offense because
Actually, I might have that wrong. Hang on.
So Josh Boseman
still bad after that, but. Sorry, go ahead.
This is how I know you, Josh, and Bobby Corrala are all like part of some basketball hive mind because you all think about shit the same, even if you don't talk to each other. Josh has been talking on the show for about 4 games now that they're essentially no longer doubling Luka, meaning defenses. So Luka's seeing a lot of single coverage and then, maybe some late stuff once he's in the key, but he's basically being challenged to score all the points because they're not giving him easy passes. Then when I mentioned this to Bobby, in a message, he shot me a video that he did on Mavs.com that basically shows this and shows what the counters are. I actually recommend going and taking a look at it. It's only like a minute.
We should all watch more Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby's
his stuff is not enough part of the discourse.
No, it's hidden behind team media stuff. But like Bobby's quite brilliant, and he shows kind of what the counters are. And the counters aren't very good because it's like they run high Spain pick and roll to get different looks at different points. But I feel like when you play a guy like Rick Carlisle who kind of knows your moves as well as you do, all of your counter punches are blocked before you even get a chance to throw them. And I mean, go ahead.
Here's how I'll lay it out. And again, I believe that there is some combination of scheme, lineup, personnel that could work with a very good coach who knows just how to blend it together. But this team has a lot of idiosyncrasies. They have a lot of parts that don't fit well together. Offensively, you look at PJ Washington. Hit some threes tonight, but for the most part, we have seen that he has been an inconsistent spot-up shooter, so he makes a lot of sense as a screener. You want him slipping in, you want him slipping, you want him catching, you want him in the mid, near the nail the free throw line, being able to make, moves from there. That's really hard to do when you're playing 4 out. They traded for Gafford, doubling down on the idea that they want to play 4 out. They want to have a non-shooting big at the court, on the court for the most part. That's a big reason why Maxey has been closing games because they feel PJ has to close games. He is the third best player. I think they're probably right.
I think they're right too.
But he is amplified. Some of his weaknesses, some of his spot up shooting is covered up when you can play theoretically a stretch 5 in Maxey. The same goes on the other end. They play a lot of drop coverage. This is the worst drop coverage team.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why
give
they
up
keep
the
playing
most points against drop coverage more than any other team, but they play this really soft drop coverage because they're trying to hide Luka. They're trying to make sure that Luka isn't stuck in rotations.
I think that's a mistake, though. I agree,
and I think that they should show higher.
You're going to give the guy like enough, like you're going to his next contract is going to be more money than Dirk made in a lifetime. I think we can ask him to rotate. He's not a baby. Challenge him a little bit and see what happens. He's a big boy.
And yes, I agree with that. They hired Jason Kidd, who has a below average track record because he was supposed to be someone who could get through to Luka. If he can't do that,
what are we doing?
If he was doing that, you could understand, you could bear with some of the stuff because you're like, well, he's getting more out of Luka. But yeah, I mean, it's if you've got to make up for Luka, then all of a sudden you're playing this drop coverage, so you have Josh Green going way high over screens.
Yeah,
he's bad at that. We know this. But they don't have a player who can navigate it, and then all of a sudden you're stuck. That begs the Jalen Smith poster. You remember that?
Yes.
That was off drop coverage. Gafford was poorly positioned. He was containing the drive. I think it was Josh Green. I think it was Dante Exum. But he's trailing way over the screen. All of a sudden, Jalen Smith is basically at the nail, catching a very easy pocket pass. Luka would have been the guy to rotate. Luka doesn't move. Now, look, he might not have got there in time, or maybe it was a failed defensive possession to start with. Maybe Jalen Smith just kicks to the corner and it's easy. It's yet another corner 3. But you at least want a center like that having to make that pass, and then Exum has a chance to trickle down. That's not quite their X rotation that they always try to do, but that's similar. But yeah, Luka didn't make that rotation, and so even. He didn't even get to the point that he could fail at a rotation later in the possession.
That's right.
Because he doesn't make the first one, and it's a dunk and one. And
look, guys,
parts of this team don't fit cleanly, and it's really hard to see how they fit cleanly. I think there's a way. Jason Kidd might not be the coach to do it.
No, and this is the thing where you get people. You get, and look, there's a bunch of whining crybabies in the chat that said, you said a mean thing about Luka Doncic. How dare you imply that he's not God's gift to basketball? First of all, I implore all of you people to shut the fuck up. This is like this stuff is like, you can go find this stuff on tape. It's not mean. It's not like it's okay to say the amazing basketball player did things poorly. We know this.
Every minute starting the second quarter on. Yeah. Why would you, if you're watching him not play, why would you keep playing him? You have to find moments to take him out of the game and let the co-star, that is a coaching thing. That is not a Luka thing. There's a lot that goes into this. The coach is absolutely responsible for so much.
Because like the guy, neither him nor Kyrie have legs right now, and we just got out of All-Star break. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
Tim, what else you got? That's it.
I think I'll end it there. I mean, I know you don't really do side pods anymore, but we could easily hash this out for 40 minutes.
Sure. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm really, and again, were I your editor, I would want to know not why the defense is bad. Because we know why the defense is bad. I want to know why the offense has gone to shit and how to fix it.
I think there's simpatico. I really do. I do think Jason Kidd's right about that. I really do.
But if to improve the defense, you fix the offense. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
They're not as good of a shooting team as they used to be.
That's right. All right, team. Yeah. Thanks so much, Tim.
I'll bring you on my pod soon. We'll
talk soon.
Make it happen. Thanks for bringing me on. See ya.
So we have 3 people left, and I can hear my 4-month-old making noise, and I need to go help my wife work with some of that. So I'm going to bring on Henry, and then we're going to fly through people, and then I got to go. So, Henry, you've been waiting patiently. What are you thinking?
It's all good, my guy. I'm actually calmer after this loss than anything else because I saw it coming. I mean, Ray Carlisle pretty much has his number. He coaches him. So, I mean, Nick Nurse with Philly, we lost that. Out coach this one. Rick Carlisle, out coach. And on Thursday with Eric Spoelstra, we're going to lose that game as well. So I'm just kind of sitting, chilling in it, to be honest with you. So I can't remember his name, but the guy from New York, when he hopped in here and he said that Kai and Luka cannot work, that's actually incorrect. They can. However, they don't because of the lack of offensive scheme. Like, I don't understand how you have two people who are so dynamic, who are so good on offense, and go stretches without offense. Like, it simply doesn't make sense. There's no offensive scheme. There's no identity. We're missing our Draymond Green, kind of someone to hold it all together. But I made a tweet and I tagged you in it. I don't know if you saw it. I shared it with you. I said that we need to hire Mike Buds as the coach, bring in Lucas Slovenian head coach, as well as Igor Kokosko, for however you say his name. Obviously, fire Kid, get Tim out of way, Tim out of here, and build anew, because there's no reason why Luka in Slovenia matches run sets almost every single play. He moves without the ball. He's cutting. Like, he does so much in Slovenian basketball and does absolutely none of it here.
Yeah.
Did you count how many times we got destroyed by that Hallie Turner pick and roll? Like, we couldn't.
It was a million.
You know what I mean? Like, we made no adjustments from the last time we played it. I just think I don't know if he can't. I mean, obviously, like that other guy said, coaching record in Brooklyn was terrible. Milwaukee was even worse if you go and look up the story behind that. If you know, you know. And then once he left, they won a ring. So, what do you feel like was your major takeaway? Because I've lost all emotional and mental connection in this team, so I'm at peace. So
I mean, that's why I don't have major takeaways yet, because I still need to read all the post-game stuff, but it feels like the team knows there's a problem, and I'm interested to see if they finally answer it. But you would have figured 5 losses in 6 games would have done that themselves. Like team meetings and talking to one another for professional athletes, I think is mildly overrated. But I don't know. It's such a frustrating situation we're in.
Honestly, I want to see Kyle fucking yell. Like, I need Kyle where he's yelling to the crowd saying, come on, like, he's too fucking kumbaya, peaceful and shit now. Like, now I need that arrogant Batman Kai back. But
that's right.
I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of here, man. I hear the little one.
Oh man. Ooh, sorry. All right, man. All right. So Cade, I'm really sorry. Doe, I'm really sorry. I have to go. You guys can hear the baby. I have to head out for the night. Everybody be good. I appreciate everyone hanging out for so long in the chat. We'll talk soon. We'll be back on Thursday night. And Cade, if you come in, shoot me a text or an email, something like that. And a Twitter DM or something. I'll answer any questions you have. All right. Please leave a review of the show. Please subscribe. Everybody be good. Go Mavs.